係火琪琪，今日我哋嚟到位於 Surrey 嘅 Urban Safari Society。上年夏天咧，我哋就去過位於 Richmond 嘅 RAPS， 佢哋咧係北美最大嘅貓貓保育區咧，同埋拯救中心嚟嘅。今日我哋嚟到咧已經好接近 White Rock 呢度啦。Urban Safari Society 咧，佢哋就唔係拯救貓貓啦，而係拯救所有 exotic animals。我哋而家即刻出發 ，Let's go！其實想喺呢個位度做介紹，但係波華而家望住我有少少驚，我唔敢同佢對視啊！有冇聽過嗰個喺《哈利波特》入邊有一個，你如果望到佢隻眼，你就會石化咧。其實我都係嗰啲城市小孩咧，對於任何昆蟲啊、爬蟲類動物係唔係太熟悉嘅，但係我會克服。USRS 係喺2007年由 Cinema Zoo 所創立嘅，而家呢一度咧一共有160種，差唔多咧350隻嘅動物嘅。我而家行緊呢一條巷咧，咁其實大部分咧都係一啲蛇啦，同埋爬行類動物嚟嘅，就好似身後嘅 Boa 咧，就係一條膠着咗嘅蛇啦，我唔敢打擾佢啊！而家中心嘅左邊咧就有唔同品種嘅蛇啦，咁其實咧右邊咧都有唔同嘅爬蟲類動物嘅。我係未知道有啲咩，所以我有啲緊張。哇，好大隻蜥蜴啊！哇，我見到啦喺嗰度啊，咩嚟㗎？有隻 water dragon 啊，趴咗喺嗰度啊！哦，嗰度你見唔見？我唔敢指住佢喺嗰度啊！
The main mission of Urban Safari is to take in surrendered exotic animals and provide sanctuary for them. So we take in these former pets that people had, provide them a safe and secure home. We also have taken in animals that conservation officers have brought to us because they found them stray, or maybe they seized them from somebody who shouldn't have had them in the first place.
因為我其實最驚係佢哋唔小心走咗出嚟。哇！好大隻咁望住我，喺嗰度你快啲睇下，佢真係望住我哋啊！哇！哇！佢要夾啊！即係如果本身對於呢啲爬行類動物有興趣嘅朋友咧，應該會真係好着迷喺呢度，因為係每一隻都係唔同種類嘅。哇！好大隻啊，真係！我驚佢攻擊我，因為我哋晨早嚟，我驚佢哋未食早餐啊。
Most kids, most people have been completely disconnected from the natural world. So we're trying to bridge that gap by our education programs. It's a place to start that conversation, that dialogue, to get kids to understand that animals are not toys, they're not disposable, they're not cartoons. They're living entities in our world. They are not like us, but they do have a reason for being in the world. They do have their purpose in the whole chain of life. Over 2 years ago, we had a fire here at Urban Safari. Did a lot of smoke and water damage. There was no structural damage. Very traumatic, very heartbreaking, very difficult. Firefighters and police officers, they're doing their best along with us, grabbing animals, bringing them out. A little snake called a rosy boa. Fun fact, they're the smallest boa species in the world. Sweet little snake called Noodle survived the fire and was taken out of his cage and put into a tank. A firefighter had one of the king snakes, and he put the king snake in the same tank as the rosy boa. King snakes, one of their characteristics is that they eat other snakes. So the king snake started to eat Noodle, the rosy boa. One of our staff ran back into the room with another animal, looked and saw what was happening. So she grabbed both snakes and she got Noodle out of the king snake's mouth. Everything was fine. Both those snakes are healthy and fine today. They are good. But sometime during this 2-year, a staff person or a volunteer person didn't close the cage for Noodle very well, and Noodle escaped. Snakes are escape artists. You need to know that if you're thinking of getting a snake. And it's difficult to find them. So Noodle escaped. Just a few weeks ago, Noodle was found. Noodle was found actually right there. And Noodle was healthy, happy, fat, had been eating, getting its nutrition and hydration as it needed.
Let's go to see the Noodle. 哇！呢度有好多義工啊！我哋頭先早嚟。
He's tiny. He is literally a worm and he has no teeth. He's
啊！
harmless.
佢係嗰隻死
Most
咗。
likely.
Can I touch it？
Of course.
哇！我好緊張喎，但係
It's like a big worm.
He's literally but less slimy. It's nice.
其實係嗰隻俾人擺咗入口嘅嗰條蛇啊，然之後佢仲走咗佬啊！而家我哋就揾翻佢啦，係咁樣㗎。
And you can see she's getting ready to shed. Her eyes are starting to look slightly milky.
哦
So that's the first sign that a snake is going to shed.
It's my first time touching a snake.
Oh, fair. I was gonna take out an even bigger one for myself for the show. So I'll wait for you to move a little bit.
Oh，
I'm gonna take this pretty lady out.
佢攞隻大㗎，佢今日有 show 啊。
One of our education programs is to take animals to schools or birthday parties. They'll take as many different animal families. They do an hour-long presentation. They're teaching the kids about them, but they're also making that connection that I talked about, right?
I wish I could have this kind of interaction when I was young. Then I don't need to be afraid now. Like if you get used to it, you won't be as scared as I am.
Like, I'm not a big fan of tarantulas. I work around them every day, but don't ask me to hold one. I break out in a sweat. That's okay. Everybody's got their fears, and that's normal. But that doesn't mean that you don't respect the animal and it's the job that it does in the world as a greater whole to the ecology system. So these guys, they're called alligator snapping turtles. They're like living dinosaurs. Because their shell is very, very heavy, so it's hard for them to move a lot. They just sit at the bottom of the swamp, covered in mud. When they're hungry, they just open their mouth. Because inside their mouth is a piece of skin that looks like a worm. Fish or frog or what have you will come, they'll see this wiggling in the water and think it is lunch for them, and then snapping turtle snaps down on it. I would estimate these guys to be somewhere around 60.
Wow.
And they can live to be roughly 100.
Don't call it animals and don't call it something that will live longer than you. Like,
Yes.
Otherwise, you don't know how to handle it when you die.
Yes, exactly. These guys are a good example. They are found in sub-Saharan Africa, so places like Morocco, Namibia, and they live to be 125 years old. They outlive us. You do have to put them in your will.
So if you want to see some exotic animals, you can just come in here to have a look, but not to own them. You don't need to own them to look at them or to interact with them.
Missy.
This is the queen here. I just heard it. Are you?
Yeah. Missy, she rules Urban Safari, and she's friends with the tortoises.
Really?
She just goes in with the tortoises and
Oh.
sits there, and they walk around her.
其實我覺得喺睇呢啲箱嘅時候咧，最緊張就係做乜事？
見到啦，
喺邊啊？
睇到啦。
邊度啊？喺個箱上面啊！我想睇呢個竹節蟲，應該係好難揾到㗎。喺邊啊？
啱啱喺度嘅。
好似見到有啲嘢喐下喐下，你睇唔睇到啊？嗰度啊？唔係喎，風嚟嘅喎。唔係喎，喺度咯，喺個網上邊啊。
哦，係喎，係喎，呢度咯。
走咗出嚟嘅喎。佢哋擺動嘅方法咧，好似俾風吹咁。因為我哋頭先控到勁埋，原來全部都係外邊。 睇嚟佢哋係中意去邊就去邊。門口一入嚟咧，咁頭先左手邊就係我哋親呢個蛇啦，右手邊咧咁有啲蜥蜴啦，咁同埋中間呢個區域咧，咁就有龜啦，咁同埋咧有一隻叫做 skinny pig 啊。之後我哋再向前行咧，嚟到呢一個區域咧，就有一啲係受保護嘅青蛙啦、龜啦，同埋咧亦都有極危品種，俗稱六角恐龍嘅墨西哥鈍口螈，就係喺呢度啦。
Should these animals go back to the wild? It's a question that we get quite often. The reality is no. Most of these animals have been bred. They're not native to Canada, they're not natural residents of our wild environment, but they are bred here or in the United States. Number one, they don't know how to exist in a wild and natural environment. They're used to being hand-fed. Number two, let's say a ball python who is native to sub-Saharan Africa. Well, there's many different countries that compose sub-Saharan Africa. What country would we contact about this snake? Countries where these animals are native to would not take them back because they are protecting their own wild populations from any disease that would transfer from an animal coming from the other side of the world that has been a pet back to a wild setting. So there's lots of different barriers to reintroducing these animals to the wild.
成個外邊嘅區域咧，咁因為都係一啲熱帶動物啦，又或者咧係需要保溫嘅動物嚟嘅，咁所以咧呢一個區域咧其實係比較熱嘅。咁過咗呢一道門之後咧，入邊就好凍㗎啦，因為咧入邊嘅動物咧就係需要擺喺低溫嘅。OK， 入到嚟首先咧就會見到佢哋即係準備嘢食啦，同埋去清潔嘅地方，同我哋之前去 RAPS 有啲似嘅。咁呢個區域就最主要俾啲員工去處理嘅。然後呢度咧有個 staff only 同埋 private 咧，咁頭先Sharon 有同我講咧，咁其實佢哋係有一個隔離區嘅，所有嘅新嘅動物咧入到嚟嘅時候，喺佢哋可以同佢同一個品種嘅動物擺埋一齊之前咧，咁都會一定有一個隔離期嘅，咁就每隻動物唔同啦，龜就可能要幾個月啦，咁如果係一啲其他小動物可能幾個禮拜咁樣，咁隔離區咧我哋就係唔能夠入去嘅。咦，佢哋咪以為有嘢食啊？都幾似啲小朋友會喺度玩波波。第一下睇佢哋個樣咧，有啲似屋企出邊會見到啲松鼠。咁但係正如咧頭先所講 ，exotic animals 咧就唔一定係啲咩珍禽異獸嘅。咁其實就係泛指一啲咧佢唔係嚟自本土嘅動物啦，唔能夠適應到呢一度嘅氣候啦、環境咧，咁都算係 exotic animal。簡單啲嚟講就係、如果呢隻動物你擺去野外，佢就死㗎啦咁。係咪好搞笑咧？竟然可以喺加拿大 ，sorry， 其實呢度已經接近白石，見到有個鯉魚池。錦鯉雖然係我哋覺得好熟悉啦，周街都見到，但係喺呢度咧，佢哋就係外來品種嚟嘅，佢哋就係 exotic 嘅。咁我就有問咯，點解呢度會有錦鯉咧？咁佢話其實好多時係一啲亞洲人，佢哋本身間屋有個好大嘅地方，咪養咗個池塘，咁咪養啲錦鯉咯。咁但係可能到佢哋賣屋或者搬屋嘅時候，咁下一手嘅業主未必係亞洲人㗎嘛，咁佢哋就唔想要呢個錦鯉塘。咁就可能同個業主又或者同個地產講話唔要幫我整走佢。咁整走去邊咧？就係嚟到呢度啦。咁所以喺呢度咧，同埋我覺得佢哋都好有心啊，即係將呢一個環境咧，有少少仿亞洲嗰種湖嘅感覺。咁但係嚟到呢度咧，雖然大家可能覺得錦鯉有咩好睇啊，咁但係都唔好喺個塘度即係掟幾蚊啊咁樣許願啊，唔好啊，唔好咁樣，你睇下得啦，都唔使餵嘢俾佢哋食啦，佢哋全部都勁大條啊！我頭先咧見到一路訪問嘅時候，一路見到佢岌個頭啦，跟住我仲好想跟住佢岌啦，要喺度打招呼嘅，人哋寫咗啦。I bob my head as a form of communication。我個頭咧就係同佢溝通嘅，意思就係呢度係我地頭啊，所以咧唔該你唔好 bob your head at me， 同埋唔好 tap 個 glass， 會令到佢好大力。唔好意思，唔好意思，呢個係你嘅 house。喺嗰個好寒冷嘅地方出嚟之後咧，其實呢度仲有一個少少嘅好似牧場咁樣啦，咁其實都有唔同嘅動物嘅。咁呢邊就仲整理緊，我哋一陣間先再睇啦。跟住呢度有兔仔啦，呢度就見到千尋爸爸同媽媽啦，咁就有兩隻豬。 呢度有隻黑毛豬，應該唔係黑毛豬，應該純粹啲豬，因為純粹佢啲毛係黑色嘅。咁下邊咧仲有一隻係染咗黑頭髮嘅白毛豬，我亂講啦。大概就係咁啦。咁呢一度咧，每一款嘅動物都唔係話好多隻嘅，咁因為佢唔係一個牧場啦。咁但係其實種類係好多嘅，特別係頭先龜啊、lizard 啊同埋蛇咧係，哇多到我都唔係夠膽逐一去研究佢哋嘅分別嘅程度啊！所以如果大家係對呢一類型嘅爬行類動物啦，又或者對一啲 exotic animal 有興趣嘅話咧，咁就可以嚟到呢度咧去接觸下啦。咁同埋我覺得真係對小朋友嚟講都係好好嘅 education 嘅機會啊！無論係搞生日 party 啦，又或者可能係一啲 camp 啊 workshop 咧，咁都係好適合大家嚟嘅。咁佢哋咧啱啱睇入邊嘅入場費咧，咁成人就係15蚊啦，小朋友就係10蚊。咁收得嘅錢咧，都係我嚟用翻幫助呢度嘅動物嘅。有興趣嘅朋友就可以嚟參觀啦，可以嚟玩 workshop 啦，亦都可以咧直接捐款嘅。佢走嚟探 friend 喎。原來隻豬真係會周圍行。哦，佢嚟攞嘢食㗎。Is he waiting for the treat?
Oh, he is. They get to roam around while I'm cleaning.
跟唔跟住佢啊？
佢真係識跟住佢。
哇，好醒啊！
Come on, baby.
佢都識聽指令嘅喎。
哇，我行得好快添喎。Sharon 同佢哋講話 Let's go 去邊？哦，佢唔去啊！
Come on, sweetie. We're going this way.
佢哋做咩唔願意嘅？
No, no.
哇，走得好快！
要翻屋企。
哇，走得好快啊 ！Where are they going?
We want to get them into the side garden here,
Ah.
till up the soil. We're gonna have a veggie garden there, but
They don't want to?
they don't want to today. Well, because pigs are very smart.
Oh, they are.
They're super smart. These ones are spoiled, and anything that is sort of new or different,
Ah.
they don't like. If it was first thing in the morning when they get their morning meal, they
Then-
would do it. But for a piece of apple, probably not.
冇啦，翻去原本嘅地方啦。我哋見證咗人豬對決啊！人豬對決之人嘅慘敗，你睇下嗰個阿 Bonnie 而家，阿 Bonnie 心諗喺度，Bonnie 心諗玩完未啊？走未啊？唔關我事啊，唔係我做㗎。
This is a passion project for most of us. I mean, we're not making a lot of money here. There is a big need for this type of rescue work. If we're not doing this work, someone has a snake and they have nowhere to take it, what do you think is going to happen to it? It'll get sold or given to somebody else who may not know what they're getting into, may not know how to care for it. It will get euthanized, or it will get released into our environment. Can you imagine going for a walk in a park and you see an 8-foot boa constrictor across your path? So there's a great need for it. And we're also hoping that the public and the children that we interact with in our education programs will develop that respect for animals from these little seeds that we're planting. We're hoping that bigger and greater things will grow that will benefit the animals everywhere in the world, and that will get the message across to people that getting an exotic animal as a pet is not necessarily a good idea.
喺呢個咁可愛嘅鼠鼠隔離咧，我哋今日咧就差唔多去到呢度啦。咁我覺得呢度咧真係好適合咧嚟呢度參觀嘅，同埋佢好近白石啦，咁大家離開白石嘅時候可以嚟呢度睇下啦。咁而我覺得真係好適合，特別適合咧係同埋小朋友一齊嚟睇，都係一場好好嘅教育啦。又或者咧，如果係對一啲
exotic animal 有興趣嘅話咧，咁咧都唔一定要喺屋企養嘅，其實嚟呢度咧都可以見到佢哋啦，同埋可以接觸到佢哋嘅。希望大家都可以繼續支持呢個 Urban Safari Rescue Society 嘅工作。如果大家中意我嘅 content 嘅話，記得 like、share、comment、subscribe 我嘅 channel、follow 我嘅 Instagram， 仲有咧 follow Urban Rescue Society。咁佢哋有 Instagram 啦、Facebook 啦，亦都有網頁可以捐款嘅，亦都可以嚟參觀俾入場費啦，同埋捐款咧，其實都幫到佢哋嘅。今日嘅內容先去到呢度，我哋有緣再見，拜拜。